Hello, and welcome to this MarTech module training on Buyside. I am going to go ahead and share my screen with you. You'll all be familiar with the Go HANA dashboard, and that's where we're going to start today. The Go HANA dashboard, you will find Buyside in two places for access. One under Agent Tools, it is the second selection, and on the dashboard just under Buyside. Now when Buyside loads, everyone will see a dashboard that looks like this, and it will be broken into two sections. Buyers at the top, listings on the bottom. Now don't be misled by the name Buyside. This tool is actually a listing tool for your agents. The tool is meant to, number one, help the agent get more listings, win more listings, and it does that by showing a seller how many buyers are already in the Howard Hanna system working with agents that actually match their home. The second thing Buyside does for a listing agent is it allows them to capture more sides of a transaction, meaning the program will help them identify ready, willing, and able buyers already within Howard Hanna systems with Howard Hanna agents that are matches to their new listing, their new upcoming listing, or listings they're trying to pursue. So it would allow us to close more sides of transactions. And the other big thing that Buyside does is it's a lead generator for agents. And we'll show you that in our marketing suite in just a little bit. So it really is a powerful listing tool. It is one of our more recent MarTech tools. So your agents may have more questions about it as it was just introduced first quarter, end of first quarter, beginning of second quarter of 2020. So here I'm just gonna quickly go over what is on the dashboard and what you're seeing. The agent will see all of their buyers right here at the top of the page. Their buyers are automatically going to come in here via their other HANA programs that they're using. So if they have buyers that are in Real Scout, buyers that are engaged, buyers that register through open to close at their open houses, those buyers are automatically going to come in here and they're going to see them listed under My Buyers. Under My Listings, any active listings that they have should show up under My Listings. And as you can see, I can't list properties, so I don't have any listings to show you, but it looks exactly like it would up here down at the bottom. So their listings will show up. If they find that there's items missing, right down here in the bottom right corner, support, they can reach out to live support and have the Buyside folks rectify that. They're very responsive to inquiries. So that's who they will connect with in order to rectify any missing listings that may be here, potentially missing buyers, but the listings is more of a common thing. So buyers and listings are separated here. Over here on the right, you will see valuation attempts. So if that agent is actually putting their call to actions, their lead generating tools out there on social media and their email signature, this is where they will see who has actually inquired on what their home may be worth. Up at the top, we'll have different categories that we'll get to in just a moment. But first, we're going to go ahead and add a buyer. There's two ways that you can add a buyer manually. Right here in the middle, very easy, add buyer, or right here up at the top, add buyer, very simple. So we're gonna go ahead and add a buyer. So for you to practice, I'd go ahead and add yourself as a buyer. So in adding a buyer, you wanna put in as much information as possible on that buyer so that the information that the other agents are seeing really lets them know whether this is a potential buyer for their property. So we'll start with school district because most buyers today are looking in particular school districts. So I'm just going to put some school districts in the North Allegheny County area of Pittsburgh so that we can actually yield some results. If they want to, they can put city and zip codes. This is all by multi-list. So however their multi-list may break up areas, that's how they would categorize them within the program. A minimum number of bedrooms, a common one, and of course a minimum number of bathrooms, the basic search criteria that most buyers are shopping by. Okay? Parking is always a big thing, especially here, at least in the Northeast. I don't know about down in the Southeast, but people don't like the snow on their car. Property type, they can choose what type of property that buyer is actually looking for. They can choose more than one if they're open to different styles. Otherwise, select what type of property the buyer is actually looking for. Property condition, okay? The agent's going to know whether this buyer has to have move-in ready, turnkey, if they're willing to do a little cosmetic work, if they're okay with some heavy lifting, or if they're even willing to wait on a short sale, or if they're a cash buyer, invest in a foreclosure. So we're going to say turnkey and maybe TLC. Maybe the buyer would love to move in and not have to do anything, but they are willing to do a little bit of cosmetic work, if you will. House style is optional. This will significantly reduce the number of matches because not everyone is familiar with style and not everyone actually has a preference in style as they're searching. So basic information, these public comments here. If you're going to add public comments, this is going to be information that the listing agents are going to see. So my buyer is willing to do cosmetic work, but no major renovations. Okay, so if my buyer matches another Howard Hanna listing within this system, when that listing agent goes to see, all right, who has buyers? Wendy has a buyer. Let's check out the buyer information to see if they're a good match. And they see Wendy's buyer's only willing to do, you know, some painting, maybe some carpet, that kind of thing, no major renovations. Well, we know that this house really needs a new bathroom, new kitchen. It's unlikely that this buyer is going to be a match, but that doesn't mean they won't reach out, but it just gives them a little more information about the buyer's likes, dislikes, their willingness. Right here in the middle, show must likes and dislikes. Please know that this is here. It can be easily skipped over, but it again is just giving more information about what the buyer's looking for to help match them more directly to realistic listings that they'd be interested in. So we want to have a basement, commonplace here in the Northeast. Laundry room would be nice, but a lot of the time it's just in the basement, so we'll skip it. Would love a fireplace, but it's not a must-have. Definitely must have central air and forced air gas heat, okay? So you can come in here and select based upon what you know the preferences of your buyer to be. Down at the bottom, qualification. Are they pre-qualified? Well, if they're actively working with you, they certainly should be. Or are they a cash buyer? Or are you not exactly sure yet because you haven't gotten that far with them and that's your next step? So I'm just going to put none for demonstration purposes so that we can come back and edit this and show you what it would look like. So we're going to say this buyer is looking for a minimum of 150, and yes, you have to put the zeros in, up to 200. Okay, so a minimum and a maximum price. And they want to purchase by the end of the year. So I'm going to go ahead and put the end of the year in. And my buyer, if you want to further categorize them, my buyer is a first-time home buyer and they're currently renting, okay? This lets the agent know, are there potential contingencies that are gonna come up? Gives that listing agent more information about the status of the buyer. Now the listing agent won't know the buyer's name or have contact information on the buyer. They're just gonna reach out to the buyer agent, myself, directly. And we're gonna say that my buyer who isn't qualified yet, I'm not going to select what type of loan right now. Down at the bottom, buyer details. Okay, that is only going to be seen by myself as the buyer agent, but when new listings come on that match, do I want my buyer to be notified? Not necessarily. I want to be in control of that information and be able to give it to them. So I'm not going to go ahead and select any other changes or notifications here. I'm going to keep it that I'm going to be notified. So I'm just going to call this one Heather R. And I'm going to go ahead and put in an email, even though I don't have to, because I'm being notified under Alert Me. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add my buyer, and if I've done everything correctly, it should go ahead and populate. And this is what you will see when you open up any of your buyers from your main dashboard. You're going to see their profile right up here, and you can edit this buyer in any fashion you choose. You can edit the whole profile and open up the page that we were just on, or you can edit certain sections. I want to draw your attention to these stars down here and show you what they mean. Right now, my buyer is only a 3-star buyer. That's not as robust as we would like them to be. We really want a 4-star buyer. So when the first star is lit, it means that the buyer is represented by an agent. So they came into the Buyside program through one of the agent's other HANA programs. So whether that be open to close, Real Scout, doesn't matter, or maybe they were manually entered. So listing agents seeing my buyer's information about what they're looking for will know that they are represented by me. The second one, the buyer has no contingencies. Okay, that's great. That means they're ready, willing, and able. They can go right now. They don't have a house to sell. No contingencies makes them a better buyer, more viable option for that listing. The buyer is not pre-qualified. This is a huge one. Star number 3 is not lit right now, and I did that intentionally to show you. So if they're not pre-qualified, then they're not a ready, willing, and able buyer. They're not a likely candidate. So the buyer is not pre-qualified, so star number 3 is not lit. Star number 4, that the buyer is ready to move within 90 days. If I had put that they were looking to be in a house by January 31st, that star would not have lit up, okay? They have to be ready, willing, and able to move within 90 days for them to be a more robust buyer. So I want to make my buyer a 4-star buyer. You want to encourage your agents to edit every buyer in the program, no matter how they came into the program. You want them to edit that information so that it makes the system more robust, so that it makes matches more clearly and definitively, so that we can actually get more sides of deals, and listing agents can find buyers and have those buyers ready to go on a listing appointment to say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I've got 25 buyers in the Howard Hanna family right now that match your property. So we know that star 3 is not qualified. So I want to edit that and go right here to pre-qualification status. I'm going to go ahead and hit edit. I'm going to say that they're pre-qualified, and it's going to ask me for the lender name, Howard Hanna Financial, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. And it updates instantly. If I wanted to, I could have edited the entire profile and saw all those categories again, went over all of the different areas to make sure there wasn't anything else that I needed to verify or to make better. So now we're on this buyer profile. They're 4 stars. So all listing agents who have properties that match this buyer will see that they are a 4-star buyer, and they will see this information right here. Down this left-hand side, this is showing me that currently there are 4 Howard Hanna listings. Remember, this is only an internal program. So it's showing me 4 Howard Hanna listings that match my buyer. So let's go ahead and open the first one. All right, I know this property. I know this property would not work for my buyer, but this listing agent over here, Jennifer, she could now reach out to me because on her dashboard, she's going to see my buyer. She's going to see my buyer ID, and that it's a 96% match. Okay. So if Jennifer is working her Buyside Dashboard and looking for buyers within Howard Hanna for her listings, she should and can reach out to me directly or by email. So since I'm looking at my buyers and the inventory is low, I'm looking for possible matches for my buyer. So when I come in here to look at my buyer, I see this, it's a 96% match. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out, send an email or a phone call to Jennifer and say, Jennifer, I have a buyer that's a good match for your property. Tell me more about the property. Is it still available? When can I schedule to go see it? Okay. So easy information. Again, the listing agent does not see who my buyer actually is, but they will see my information as having a buyer that matches their listing. Okay. Same thing will happen on the listing side, although I can't necessarily show it to you, but it's the same exact concept. Okay. So that's how you're going to go ahead, add a buyer, edit a buyer, and check for matches. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and check this Heather R up here. I have an email notification right here, which my guess is a listing agent had reached out to me. And so let's see what I have. I may have the perfect buyer for your listing. I've provided, well, I'm not sure what that actually is. I may have reached out to someone. But anyway, it's going to keep track of the context for you within your system and alerts you when a listing agent has reached out or a buyer's agent has reached out. Okay. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Now that you know how to add, how to edit yourself, I want to show you how to get leads. Under the marketing suite, we have home valuation site and we have my leads. So I'm going to go to home valuation site first. This is one of the first things every single agent should be doing, and this may be where they actually have the most questions. The home valuation site has two primary functions, the first of which is email signature. If you just go ahead and click and open it, down at the bottom of the screen, there's two different directions for creating a call to action, if you will, in their email signature. All they simply have to do, if they want, is to copy and paste right here. They're going to copy this, open their Outlook, paste it right into their email signature, and now they have a clickable link, a call to action for people to check the estimated value of their home. Same thing down here. Whichever method they prefer, they can go ahead and copy the link. So they can put this in their email signature. They can use it in regular emails that they're sending. However they want to use it, it's very easy. The instructions are there for them to use. Now on their personal webpage, their GoHanna or their howardhanna.com webpage, they already have an actual tab as one of their pages that is their home valuation site. So they don't necessarily have to add this to their web page, but they are welcome to if they want to, but they already do have a Buyside, a home valuation page on their website. The second action from our marketing suite is social media posting, okay? They can share on, what is it, 181? Yep, hasn't changed. 181 different social media outlets, including Gmail or regular mail, however, whatever email system they're using. Hopefully they're using Outlook in their Howard Hanna email. They can generate an instant post, a call to action. This is where and how they are going to generate leads. So I'm going to put this out on Facebook, and anyone who actually clicks on the link to check out the estimation of their home, they're going to be drawn to my home valuation page. And this is what it's going to look like. Their picture will be there, their name, their cell phone number, it'll be branded them. The pictures in the back rotate. They're not any particular home. It's just what is the default settings. And anyone who clicks on the link, whether social media or in their email, they can come in here and get an estimated value of their home. So I'm going to go ahead and put an address in here and show you what the public facing site will look like. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but this is how they're going to generate leads. Okay, this could be their friends and family clicking on it. It could be complete strangers clicking on it. And so when they go ahead and put an address in here, and trust me, people will actually, oh, Hicksville. Guys, I'm not in New York, but we're just going to go with it. Should have been a little more specific. But anyway, the public will be drawn to a page for the address that they chose. It could be an address anywhere in the country. And it's going to give them an estimate of value from at least 3 different sites. The first one here is from Zillow. This one is from eAppraisal, and then public data. Okay, I know that NAR's information is in here from RPR, so it's really all encompassing. But what this is meant to do is kind of confuse them, because there's such a range in value. They don't really know what their house is actually worth. And that's okay, because we want them to reach out to their Howard Hanna real estate professional. So the rest of the page is about a call to action, reaching out to the agent. If they want to go ahead and say that they're the owner, they can claim the property as their own. Some people will check the valuation of their own property. You'll have ex-spouses, nosy neighbors who are checking the valuation of people in their neighborhood or their ex-spouse's house. It will happen. But they can claim it as the owner. They can rate what type of condition it's in. And then when they do that, they can actually get a monthly estimate of value report. And the report will look just like this. It's going to show a heat map. So I guess I picked Long Island accidentally. Definitely not Pittsburgh, but Long Island. So here's Long Island, New York, and you can see the different colors, the heat map. You may be familiar with this like on a meteorological map. The deeper the red, the more activity, the more interest buyers have in that particular area, the more people are actually shopping online for that particular area. So the heat map just shows them where are the hot areas, where are the buyers really looking right now. And then it's going to show them some trends, some graphs about homes sold in that area, in that zip code, median price, how many days on market, and what has recently sold in that Hicksville area based upon the address. Okay, so it looks like there's at least 10 properties that have sold, and it's going to give them the sold data on them, the details about the property, and when the property sold. Okay, so this information is going to go to them instantly, and they can contact the agent for even more information or a more accurate estimate of value for an appointment. And down here is where they can receive the monthly updates on the property. So they will get a monthly email with the same type of data on their property to tell whether their property is increasing in value, if their area has an increase in buyer interest and activity. Okay, so that is the home valuation site. We're going to get out of this, go back to our home valuation site here. When someone does click on the social media link or the email signature and they go to the home valuation site, all of those leads are going to come right here under My Leads. So we're going to go there to see the leads. And we can see every person and what property they have inquired upon. Okay, so you can see down here on the bottom, I inquired upon my own property back in August. It shows me who the actual owner is, which is my husband. You can see that some of my fast start students have clicked the link, probably from my email signature, and we're checking the estimate of value on their properties. And then there's actually a couple here, 2 recent ones that I'm not familiar with, but I know the address, I know the homeowner name, and it gives me an opportunity to start marketing to them because someone inquired about the property, okay? It could be them, it could be someone else, but I want to reach out to them. So these are leads. So even if there's not a name provided, I still have an address and a homeowner name, and I can start marketing to these people because they are actual leads. I can offer them a more comprehensive valuation of their home by actually going and seeing their property, doing real market comparables for their areas, okay? So these are my leads that I should be following up on. So all of your agents should be checking their dashboard, and they don't actually have to come into their dashboard here, their lead dashboard, to see who has made an inquiry. They're going to get an instant email. The minute that their home valuation site is accessed, they're going to get an instant email to their Howard Hanna email that someone has checked the valuation of their home. And then they can come in here, get all the information, reach out, start marketing to them. Up here, once they have a lot going on, you can see that they can filter one claimed property. That was me. I claimed my own property. So it shows me who claimed their property, who's getting monthly reports. So it's a great tool to keep track of your leads to make sure you're working them. Okay. Now to complete what we call a BMA. The next category up here is BMA, and that stands for Buyer Market Analysis. We pretty much did that through the public valuation site, but this is how we would do it through the agent's dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and put my actual address in as an example so that I can get a BMA. BMA is going to be what the agent is going to use on a listing appointment, in an email, when pursuing a for sale by owner. This is how they're going to wow that homeowner, that potential seller, to show them the power of Howard Hanna's buyers. So what's going to pop up first here is the public data on the property. If the agent has already had a quality conversation with the potential seller, the owner, or they actually know the house, they can go ahead and edit this information because it's going to change the buyer pool for the information. So I know that this house actually is a 4-bedroom, and it actually is a 3-bath house. I don't know, and I'm not sure about the square footage and the lot size, so I'm going to leave that alone. But I know the basics of what is not correct on there. And it's going to show me, all right, there's 4 different valuations here. Which ones do I want to appear in the BMA, Buyer Market Analysis, that I am either printing off or showing someone or emailing? So which ones do I want to choose? There's actually 3 of them. So I'm going to choose maybe the 3 highest ones. So I'm going to choose the 3 highest ones. And down here, if I want to, based upon my expertise and knowledge of that particular market, I can put in my own estimate of value. I know the market pretty well, so I'm going to put that in and see what comes up next. So even though it gave me those 3 automated models with valuation numbers, because I put my own range in, it's going to give me buyers that match this range, the area, and the bedrooms and bathrooms. Very simple. I'm just going to generate a PDF. Hopefully this works quickly because it can take upwards of a minute depending upon the user's internet connection, how many things they've got running. So we're going to complete this BMA that I would potentially use on a listing appointment, courting a for sale by owner, pursuing an expired listing that didn't sell, anyone who is interested in what their property is worth. This could be something that I print off and give to all my neighbors just to market myself and show them that I am their neighborhood real estate resource, being top of mind and giving them information that they actually want, information about them and their property, what their home may be worth. So this is going to take just a few more seconds, I hope. There we go. We're going to go ahead and view the report. And you can see it already downloaded in my bottom left. But here is the nice, beautiful, colorful report that you can share by email, print off, share in person, send by mail. So we have a little marketing at the beginning. Why partner with Howard Hanna? And then we go right into the valuations. So according to the automated models out there, real-time valuations at present, and this changes all of the time. At present, we can see the 3 different points of value and the ranges in that point of value. The range that I put in, which is a pretty large range. And now we're going to see that heat map, where buyers are currently searching. And remember, this is fueled by our Howard Hanna programs, our own howardhanna.com. So we know what buyers are looking at because we have all of this online internet data. So where this particular property is located, it is pretty red. So I know that there are lots of buyers shopping in my area. And it's really easy to explain to a homeowner because it is in pictures and graphs. Okay, so this page is really important. This is about the online activity. Okay, so our network would be howardhanna.com. We have internet activity reports from realtor.com. So right now there's over 1.5 million people working within our network. 726 are searching within 5 miles of the subject property, my house. 221 are searching within the price range that I put and within 5 miles of the property. And then there's 28 who are actually looking for price range, area, and number of bedrooms. Okay, so 28 people looking specifically, potentially, for my home. It's powerful information to provide someone who's thinking of selling their property. This is going to let the seller know that 47% of the buyers right now are looking for 4+ bedrooms. So I want to market it as 4 bedrooms, whether it's 5 or not. If it's 3, that's 29%, so the buyer pool is smaller. Then the majority of the buyers are looking in the 100 to 199 range. Now, yeah, that may be the case, but I know that my home is worth more than that. Maybe I'll price it at 200 to capture a buyer pool a little bit below and above, but this can help a seller make informed, intelligent pricing decisions. Now, here's the wow factor, everyone. This is the 29 identified buyers working with Howard Hanna agents or within our Howard Hanna programs right now who may be potential matches for my subject property. Okay, so it's just showing that seller buyer IDs, and the agent can explain to them. I can go in and see who their agent is, reach directly out to their agent. So I do already have, that number of buyers who are potentially interested in looking at, if not buying your home. Okay, so that's the BMA report. Very simple for you to do. You can do it on your own property. And that is the real power of the Buyside program. Okay, so our dashboard, our marketing suite, which allows us to put our call to action, our lead generators out there through email and through social media, how you track your leads, how you create a BMA. This is your list of listings, your list of buyers. And if I wanted to find non-MLS listings, so those exclusive listings will be on here. They will match up because this is Howard Hanna system for Howard Hanna buyers and sellers. All of that data will be in here. Okay. So I hope that you got a lot out of this presentation and will allow you to be more informed and assist in answering questions about Buyside. Thanks everyone for your time and attention. I appreciate it and have a great day.